Hey everybody, welcome to AV Club. Ants & Co. here, former 1991 General McLean High School AV Club Treasurer Officer. Thank you very much, thank you. I've been watching videos on folks making projectors out of shoe boxes and smartphones, so I decided, hey, let's up the ante and let's see if we can MacGyver this thing up with limited materials in under 30 minutes. So we're going to start with the shoebox. Hey, candies right from the 80s. Can't tell I'm a Gen Xer. And our limited materials. We're going to start with a magnifying glass. Anyone will do. Some duct tape. Ought to have that running around in your house. Leatherman tool, just using the knife and the saw. It's mine. Got my name on it. Sharpie marker. Going to use a smartphone, an old Lumia 1020. I better charge that bad boy up. Haven't used that in about 3 years. Standard glue stick, and I'm using a butane torch. If you don't have it, use a lighter or a crack lighter. Anything will do to melt that hot glue stick, or you can use a hot glue gun. All right, and while my cell phone is charging from being dead for 3 years, I noticed on that side of the candies box there already was a hole, so that's where we're going to put our magnifying glass at. First we got to center it up, so right there is one of those logos on the side of the box. That's right there in the side. I don't have a ruler. We're just going to use the lid of the candies box and try and line that up approximately center. Again, I don't have a ruler. I'm not inside my shop. We're going to do this in 30 minutes or less and MacGyver it as quickly as possible. So I don't have a measuring stick or anything. So we're just going to pop that right there and ghetto this bad boy up. That's about center. Good enough. So now we want to mark off with our magnifying glass exactly where we want to start cutting. And since we have the hole already started there, just want to center that up. We're going to eyeball it for right now. Nothing that we're going to do perfect. It's not going to look the very best. And as soon as we do that, we're going to go ahead and mark that up with our Sharpie marker. So let's line that bad boy up just about right there. Okay, time to cut the hole. Convenient hole right there in the middle. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the saw. It's nice. That way I can do it pretty safely, pretty quickly. Doesn't have to be aesthetically beautiful or good looking. We just want to get a pretty good circle, fit that magnifying glass in. And there we go. Once we have that circle in, let's fit it on in. That little lip, I'm going to stick the attachment of that magnifying glass because we don't have time for me to saw that off. So I'm going to stick that under the lip and fit the magnifying glass right in. Everything looks pretty good. And there we are. All right, so now we have to seal that in, make sure the magnifying glass doesn't go anywhere. I'm just pulling out my little torch there. I'm going to heat up the glue stick, as you can see in the shadow. As soon as I get that glue stick heated up, it's going to go right around on the edges and seal that bad boy in from the inside. None of this is permanent. Anytime you want to remove that magnifying glass, folks, you can take, it'll come right off, and the hot glue will come off like boogers. You just have to rub all of it off the sides, and nothing permanent, nothing that will certainly last or hurt any of the metal or even the glass. All right, we're going to keep on heating that up, sealing everything up. And as soon as we do that, we're going to let it sit for about 5-10 minutes. And after that, we're going to move on. And I was pretty impatient, only waited about 3 minutes. Seems like the glue's pretty sturdy. Everything seemed to cool off pretty well. So we're just gonna move on. We're on a time frame. And we're gonna get the smartphone board all set up. Use a piece of paper here, regular paper that my cat Ollie chewed up, as you can tell by the little teeth marks. And I'm folding it to the width and marking off the height. And then I'll fold that piece of paper up and use that as a template. just like that, using the edge of the board, folded everything over. Now I pull out some cardboard and wrap the paper right around, and that is going to be the rough, very rough, without using a ruler or anything, very rough dimensions of what we're going to need. So I'm going to pull out my Sharpie marker to make some very quick marks, and that way I'll know where to cut. Alright, I'm going to use the edge of the shoebox as a reasonable straight edge. This is horrible as far as for measure twice, cut once. However, again, we're doing it MacGyver style, so deal with it. I know it's pretty cringy if you work with tools and everything, but yep, there we go. And once we make the initial cut, go ahead and reinforce that cut a little deeper, and then we will just snap it out right after that. After we've got it out, we're going to custom size it. It's a little rough, so we're going to make it fit the shoebox just a little better by reinforcing the sides with some duct tape. Not a lot, and we're just going to slap that on right there, and just make sure that the edges have just a little duct tape on there, and that's going to help even that out. Make sure that everything is reasonably even, give it a little springiness, and all we have to do is do it on both sides. So pull out another piece of tape and repeat process. Once everything is no doubt masterfully duct taped up, we're going to go ahead and use some more duct tape to cheat a little with the box. Going to add a little stability and a little more tightness by using just a little duct tape on both sides, and that way the board can be moved up and back for focus. One thing that you have to make sure that your phone is set up on is that you have the screen rotation is locked, so that way it won't correct itself, and turn the brightness on your phone all the way up. Doesn't matter what phone it is, just make sure that it is on the highest setting possible. Okay, once we have our phone settings all set up, we're going to go ahead and take some hot glue, and after I marked off those little spots where the phone was, where the corners are, I'm just adding a little hot glue right there, and we're going to be putting our phone within its case right there and attach onto the board. Again, don't worry about the hot glue or any type of permanent type of damage. The hot glue will come right off the phone, just like boogers. Alright, and once we put the lid on, we see that we have to cut a little more just off of the lid, and that way when it's set up, boom, there we go. There's no obstruction from the lid. As we take a look at everything, we want to make sure that when you set your phone in, that you set it in upside down. That's how the optics work with it, with magnifying glasses. So by setting it upside down, it will actually appear right side up when you project it onto whatever wall. Also, that just so that you know, it will read backwards. It will be right side up, but everything will be, the words, letters, everything will be backwards. And here we are. This is actually inside my bathroom. This is the shower spigot. And yeah, you can tell I'm from Pennsylvania, I said spigot. And hey, what are we watching? Minions or something like that? And that is actually out of the box. So it does work. It actually does work. Let's go over to our laundry room here, and I don't know what this is, but looks like it's a lot of fun. And they're doing some coloring, and right there, snapping on the light, turn it back off, and the projector actually works. Go ahead and focus with using the board with the cell phone. You can move it forward or backwards. whatever works for you, and you'll find that sweet spot as far as the distance away from the wall. Each one's going to be different. We're going to have different size magnifying glasses, cell phones, all of that size shoe boxes. So find that little sweet spot against the wall and go ahead and have fun with it. So there we go. We have our own custom candy Shoebox Smartphone Projector. We MacGyvered it up using household materials, did it just under 30 minutes, and if you're looking for a project to do while we're under quarantine, outside of washing your hands a lot, try this with your family and with the kids and have a lot of fun with it. Again, none of this is permanent. You can take duct tape off, throw away the box, and the glue will come off of the plastic and the magnifying glass, no problem. So have fun, folks. Be safe and wash your hands.